Hello everybody, my name is Alexander Peterson and I will be doing a quick video on IEPs and IDEA. If we're talking about IEPs and IDEA with parent guidance and student involvement in the IEP process, this is extremely essential to the IEP process. We can't actually provide IEPs for students without parent consent. We have to give them prior consent for up to 10 days, at least in the state of Tennessee, to change any aspect of their IEP. So this is super important. We also communicate with parents constantly through talking about IEPs, giving them data and evidence collected throughout different classes, if they're in gen ed or not, just because we have to have the data to be able to prove that we are doing something and we're helping these students or that nothing's happening. Another aspect of it is referrals. The referral process starts educator gathering evidence, like I was saying, in the classroom. This can be, the student is not able to spell 22 syllable words. That happened. I literally was working with that earlier today in classes with some students. So you get the different evidence and information, and then you work so you can demonstrate why an evaluation is needed. This also includes an ongoing conversation with the parents or guardians. So this is, like I was just saying, pause. So with this, it needs to be specific to what you are identifying and what you are actually helping prove with the student and improve with the student. You have to submit this to the specific school personnel that deals with this, so you're actually able to do it. Evaluation, this process looks like evaluating needs of the student. It can be purely just focusing, educational, that kind of stuff. It also can relate to different parts of, like, if they are like have orthopedic impairment or something like that, like different using of devices and stuff like that, like, oh, they need this, and evaluating what is necessary for them and what helps them become more and more independent. So with that, next part is eligibility. To be eligible for this, they have to have one of the 13 types of the eligible disabilities, which is groupings, which is autism, blindness, deafness, emotional disturbance, hearing impairment, intellectual disabled, multiple disabilities, orthopedic impairment, other health impaired, physical learning disabilities, speech or language impairment, traumatic brain injury, or visual impairment. The student is measured then through a variety of assessments. So those are the 13. But another aspect of that is, to be eligible, it actually has to affect the way the student learns. So the student can still do everything normally, then they don't get an IEP. They might get a 504 for behavior, but not an IEP. Next, the components of an IEP. There's a lot of them. Components of IEP are described as annual goals. So this is yearly goals that we're trying to get the students to meet, like, I can complete a certain amount of math problems in a certain amount of time period, or I can read a certain amount of words that are complicated in a certain amount of minutes. I can sometimes it's basic things like I am able to walk from point A to point B by myself without an adult hand or something like that guiding me. So this is super important, and those are measured throughout the yearly process, like yearly re-evaluation process in IEP meetings. Benchmarks are like those different ways that they reach these benchmarks regarding like different aspects of like core curriculum, what they're actually reaching and what we need them to reach for themselves. Another aspect of this is measuring progress. That's pretty simple. That's one part, is we have to have progress that is measurable. And we have to report it to parents, to guardians, to the principals, to leads, to other teachers, to the gen ed teachers, to everything. And to the parents. Most importantly, the parents need to know. And special education is what we provide to these students. Supplemental aids and services. This is the different aspects, like providing them with a OT coming in, occupational therapist coming in and helping the students, or providing them with food or different aspects like different like sensory, like their sensory needs, for instance, like having a trampoline in the classroom or something, or having specialists come in and help out. Next one would be mods to the school. So this would just be like during like what work they do and how we so that they can complete it better and do it easier. The extent or the non-participation in our classes, that's just simply how often are they in a general education class and how often are they in a contained classroom or one-on-one outside of the classroom. Next would be the accommodations assessment, similar to modifications. How are we modifying their assessments, but then also are they getting extended time? Are they getting read aloud? Are they getting small group testing? So that is that. And how we actually deliver the services is important. Transition planning is very, very important. This looks like before they're 16, having a plan on what they're going to be doing after high school, like their post-secondary plan, whether it's college or work or living at home. It can be a variety of things because we will deal with a variety of students because every student's different. And then also age of majority is very important as well. Next, so communication between teachers and school and parent guardians. This is to support the student. This is not for our own personal gain. It's to help the student and help them know that we are there with them and we're there to continue and help them become more independent and better educated and to feel like they are living a normal life and to also for them to excel in their studies. And this should be constant. We should always be talking to the parent, talking to the other teachers, collaborating and working with each other. And then ethically, there's so many laws that we have that we have to talk about, which includes procedural safeguards, private notices, all that stuff. These safeguards are for both the students, for us as educators, and for parents, for us to be able to communicate and talk with them and be able to and be able to show them like we are not mistreating your student. We are giving you a prior notice to what we are doing, written notice specifically, not just verbal, because verbal is just verbal. It can go both ways. And lastly, and that actually is it. All right, awesome. Thank you very much. Have a good one.